Welcome. We're here at the future home of the Arlington ISD's Arts and Athletics Complex today. And today we're going to visit two facilities, one the Athletic Center and the other the Center for the Visual and Performing Arts. I'm Kelly Horn, I'm the Executive Director of Plant Services, and this is Mr. Eric White, our Director of Athletics. And so we'll start out today at our Athletic Center. This is the final project in the 2014 bond program. We're on time with both projects. We expect for them to be finalized and wrapped up in August and September today. And I'll have Coach White elaborate on some of the spaces and what they'll be used for. So today we're going to talk a little bit about this lobby space that we enter as we go into the Athletic Center. This will be the future home of the Arlington Athletics Hall of Honor. And so Coach White, if you would maybe discuss a few of the finer points.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great space for us to be able to show and display some of the past accomplishments and then future accomplishments as we get there. In this room, you'll see right behind me where we are right now is going to be a display case. We'll have trophies and different things. We're still kind of in the process of designing exactly what that finish is going to look like. The Hall of Honor people have been great working with us. There are also some space in this corner kind of to the right or on that side there. Another display area that really won't be panel. It'll be more like panels or things they can sit out but not hidden by a display case. So, and we have these areas on both ends. So they're going to have a lot of space to really recognize and celebrate the past honors of athletics here in Arlington.
So we're going to go ahead and enter the arena space at this point. We're entering the floor level, and if you'll look to the left and right, you'll be able to see just above us the seating areas for the space. Well, everything is complete at this point, and so we'll wrap up installing our ceiling tiles, and all of our goals in this space are portable, so they'll be able to be moved in and out on a regular basis. Coach, you have anything you'd like to offer?
I just think the design of this arena is really good. As you see, the seating is right on top of the action. The other thing that I think is a really nice touch is the locker rooms that feed directly onto the floor. The wrestling rink will hold 6 circles. That'll help us to enlarge the size of tournaments that we're going to have. Can transition to 3 different competitive ways with wrestling, basketball, and volleyball. But it's going to be a really exciting place for our kids to play.
So we've entered the second level. Parents and our guests who come to watch an event to be a little bit closer to the action. So as you can see, there's not a bad seat in the house.
There's concession stands on both levels. Right here behind the main video board, there's also a concession stand on the first level to service the fans. Like I said, it's the great perspective, the windows. It's just going to be a fun environment to compete and play in.
How many seats do we have in the space?
Up top is 1,200, and you can add an additional 300 on the floor. We can get to 1,500, and that wouldn't include standing room only, which if you see the concourse here, I feel like if we had a big event, we could probably even get a few more than that.
All right, let's go see a few more spaces. Okay, so we're going down the south stair from the concourse level of the arena now, and we'll exit this space and go over to the natatorium. Much of the exterior is finished, the roof is complete, all of our masonry is done. At this point, we're just applying the plaster finish on the exterior of the building. All the metal panels space is complete at this point also. The doors will be the last thing we put on the space. On the Athletics Center, we are slated to be complete by August 15th, and we're on schedule with where we want to be. So now we're in the area that houses our training pool. And so Coach White, if you would maybe talk about some of the features about the pool.
Absolutely. You'll notice this is a Murtha pool, just like our big competition pool. And this pool is a joint use with the city, primarily going to be a teaching pool. It could also be used at big meets as a warm-up pool. There's several different things you could do this with different programming. It just really opens up the use where the competitive pool is deep throughout. It'll be a harder space to teach in. So this is a great addition for us and that we're going to, like I said, partner with the city with and use. So if you'll notice on the front left of this pool too, we'll have accessibility for wheelchair access, meet the needs of everybody that wants to come here and participate.
So now we're in the lobby space of the Athletics Center, where we have a number of support spaces. We have a pro shop over to our left for students and visitors to buy various equipment, whether it's goggles, swimsuits, anything that they might need. We also have aquatics coordinator's office right directly in front of us, where that person will control the use of the facility and also control the space so that we make sure that we have safe access for all of our visitors. So we'll make our way upstairs to our left here, and we'll go see the concourse and have a look down onto the main pool. Of course, like the arena, we're wrapping up. It's a little dirty inside still because we're working our way out and cleaning as we go, but all of our exterior finishes in place. We're working on the interior finishes at this point. Everything mechanical is operational at this point. So we'll ease our way through here and we'll see if we can get a little bit of a bird's eye view of the pool itself. And then we will make our way downstairs into the bottom of the pool itself.
So this is a Murtha pool. We'll have diving on the far end. I believe when we go end to end with the 25 meter, we can get 23 lanes. It'll have a floating bulkhead, and that's the pieces that you're seeing in the middle right now that we can move to create the different shapes or sizes of the pool to compete in.
And Coach, again, how many seats do we have in this facility
I
as
believe
well?
we're right at 1,000. We'll have video displays on the far wall. We'll have scoreboards on the end, so it'll be a fantastic venue to watch people compete.
These are called duck socks when you build spaces like arenas, and you get a lot of interior noise due to shaking and rattling of ductwork. Plus, over time with the humidity, they tend to discolor and rust. So we've gone the way of duck sock material, which is a cloth material that's coated in vinyl. So you don't get the noise of operation, but you also don't get rusting and that sort of thing. So it's really quiet system of conveying the HVAC and the mechanical. And then directly overhead of our spectator area, we have fans located along the entire section so that we can keep our fans comfortable and circulate the cool air and disperse the humidity as best as possible.
Behind us is where all the concession stands and restrooms for the fans will be, right up here behind where all you see the scaffolding is right now. We're staying on the pool bottom right now, which is about it's 7.5 feet deep when we get it all in. It'll transition down to the diving end beyond these bulkheads that you see in here. So we go from 7.5 to 13. This is where you have your swimming competitions. You can do it there, either end. Like I said, you'll use all 23 lanes during practice. Adjust the bulkhead for meet. From here, you can see a control room that's there. That's where you're running, when you're timing the meet and the timing system with all that, that's that bigger window right there. These are locker rooms, the smaller doors, and then there's a hallway. Of course, you look up and see the spectator seats from here. The pump room and everything that controls and takes care of the water is in the far corner. As you can see, they've already started some painting to create the lanes. It's coming along quickly. These are the access points. It's connecting you to the arena, and we have some meeting rooms, and we have some weight rooms, training rooms. So the buildings are connected. We came out and went around, but you can access one to the other. We can also lock them down for the safety piece of it as well too, though.
Let's make our way to the other facility. So now we've entered the Center for the Visual and Performing Arts, and we're in the main lobby space. We're busy completing our finishes inside the space. And I'm going to let Dr. Anderson kind of give us a little bit of an orientation today.
Sure, so as you come into the main facility, you're entering this pre-function space that we're in right here. Immediately to the left will be our art gallery, and then of course we have the grand concert hall right here as you enter the building. The building's divided into three parts really. The front area is the public space. In the very back area, we have the school space. And then, of course, the Department of Visual and Performing Arts is tucked into the corner back here. Sure, well, the most unique thing about the art gallery itself is really the existence of a separated space. Lots of school districts have spaces to display public art. They're usually in the foyer area of their hall, but very few, if any, have a dedicated art gallery. This would be a space where on these walls student art could be displayed, students could curate their own art shows, and we could also invite outside groups in to display in traveling art shows. The sky's the limit here with the art gallery.
We're in the concert hall now, and so we're still in a state where we're working from the top down. When you build a concert hall with this kind of an elevation, you have to do all of the work above in the ceiling. They'll do all of that work, complete that 100%, and they'll start to break the scaffolding down level by level as they finish the space from top down. And so what we'll do now is we'll go up the scaffold. You'll get a chance to see all of the mechanical, the rigging, and the ceiling finishes that are going in at this time.
Sure, so this is the closest you're ever going to get to these spaces because all of this floor is going to disappear. But up here, of course, we have all of our acoustical paneling, which will reflect sound. And then we have these incredibly unique design fixtures here, which mimic the crook of the grand piano. And you see our really ultra-modern lighting system. And also up here you can see the number of vents that we have, and this is part of our state-of-the-art HVAC system, which is virtually silent in the hall. So one of the more unique things about how we're designing lots of facilities across the districts is that we're trying to make them accessible to schools all across the district so everybody feels at home. That is true certainly in the CVPA, where we have all kinds of LED lighting that you'd see right here that can be cast in different colors. Maybe it's a 4th of July event. Maybe it's a high school home colors. We have incredible flexibility in the space, built so every student in Arlington ISD feels at home in the Center for Visual and Performing Arts.
You can see we have our grand staircase winding down from the second. We'll see this space from up above in just a bit, but we're still under construction here, and we're working our way down from the top to the bottom, and so the finishes will begin to be applied as soon as we finish up above and we remove this scaffolding.
Name is right there, multi-purpose. This gives us the option to do all kinds of different things for our programs. We can host UIL and have warm-ups in this space. We can host larger scale professional development events, and also we have this wall that we can close to divide this into 2 rooms. Each room, of course, will be capable of seating a group of people with full technology. We see this as being one of our most flexible spaces, and the students will be in and out of this space all the time.
So now we're in the small theater. We're approximately 80% complete in this space. We're applying finishes now, and we'll begin to clean up and finish up our electrical, drop the ceilings in, and then we'll be ready to put seats and the final electronics in the space.
Well, there are a lot of different types of things that we can do in here. This is a very intimate setting at about 425 seats, but it's a full-size stage with a full fly area, so we can do full-scale theater productions in here, and also we have a Marley floor that we can bring into the space to do full dance productions. We also expect to use this in UIL competition for the sight reading room, which will be a very unique experience for our students. But back here we have this very unique hoist that you see. That's going to house one of the largest LED screens in any K-12 facility across the nation. That'll be a backdrop screen. It can be programmed with anything from any computer can run on that as a backdrop, and it can be hoisted in and out. This is all state-of-the-art so that our kids get exposure to the very best. One of the unique features that you see in not only this theater but in the concert hall is that in an effort to create a much more intimate environment, instead of laying everything out in one floor, we've wrapped all of the audience around the students as much as possible in these loge areas and balcony seating. In the main concert hall, we actually have seating for 150 that wraps behind the performance stage. So in addition to the 1,110 seats on the main floor, we can put 150 people in the choir loft above the orchestra performance. Additionally, within the small theater, the front area of seating is removable. That gives us flexibility to put in pit orchestras, to extend the stage, just lots of different configurable options as we've tried to think of every different type of way that we might use this facility.
So now we've entered the dance studio, which also serves as our storm shelter for the facility as well. So Dr. Anderson, I'll allow you to take a minute to explain how we might use this.
Sure. Well, in this particular studio, we've got 2,500 square feet that will allow for the launch of our brand new contemporary dance company, which will be auditioning over the summer. This wall here will have mirrors for the length of the wall, and also dance bars that will be mounted there for our instruction. We're also including a sprung wood dance floor, which is the newest in safety features for modern dance. Sure, well, we're about to enter the main hub of this area, which is the learning stair, which is directly in front of us here. And right across from the learning stair will be one of our brand new Steinway Spirio R pianos, which will allow us to do state-of-the-art piano instruction and classroom instruction. This open space is very flexible for us. Over to the left here, we also have our new art room. Now this is one of the most spectacular art spaces that you're going to see in any academic setting, K through 12. This space here provides students the opportunity to do pretty much anything in the visual arts. We have an area here which is going to be 3D arts, which will have our pottery wheels, and as we extend to this space over here, then this is the classroom setting area where we do 2D art. One unique feature that I'll bring you to over here is this wall right here. Right now this doesn't look like much, but this is a space where students can curate, and they put their art on this wall for us to help analyze and review and assess our art. And then right out here in this space here, and if we come around the corner here, we can see this courtyard. Now, outdoor art spaces are extremely important for the development of students, and this is going to be an incredible courtyard directly off of the art room that will allow students to achieve at levels that we haven't been able to achieve anywhere in the district.
It's my understanding, Dr. Anderson, this will be a fenced and landscaped courtyard as well for the students, so it'll be totally secure from the outside.
That is exactly right. It is an extension of the classroom into the outdoor space, protected just like they are in the school. Okay, so now we're in the learning stairs area, and this is a very unique space right here. This is the space that's going to house that Steinway Spirio R that I was talking about earlier. This is a glass wall right here, which allows us to teach from this piano. And then when it's time for performances, the piano goes straight through those double doors, and that's access to our stage in our main concert hall. In the piano lab, we'll have a full lab set up with 24 units of pianos, but we'll also be doing advanced placement music theory classes in this space as well. The piano lab is set up very similar to what you see at Jones and Corey Academy. The entire long-range plan is that we will have a comprehensive piano program that will run all the way from elementary through the high school as we expand into Gunn Academy and eventually to the high school academy.
This is the instrument repair lab, is that correct?
Yes, the instrument repair lab is perhaps the most unique space that we have in the CVPA. This is one of the only programs like it nationally, one other that I know of in the state of Texas actually. So the most exciting thing for us is that this allows us to take the program that we established a number of years ago, which is currently housed at Bowie, and move it into this state-of-the-art facility where we'll be able to serve twice as many students. This is going to allow students to hone their skills in learning how to do instrument repair with the hope that they can continue on and get a job with the instrument repair companies. This is almost a certification program like you would see at the CTC. This is the main room where the instrument repair tables are set up and the individual stations on the walls. We also have some of the big working equipment in here. But we have a polishing room and a wet room also, which allows for us to do instrument polishing over in this room, and it has the big vacuums. And then over in this room, the wet room, which allows us to do ultrasonic cleaning of instruments.
Concert hall, the second floor of the concert hall to the second floor of the small theater. And then to our left here, we'll make our way down in a bit, down the grand stair, which you can see has a little scaffolding right now.
That's right, so this is basically the front access space. The public will have access to this set of offices right here, which Christopher Bryant will be in. He is the director of the CVPA. And that naturally then fits in over here with the box office. This will be the primary box office. End of the public space right here. We're now entering into the school component of the building, and this right here are the school offices where Kathy Isaacs will be located. She's the Dean of Instruction and the lead administrator for this facility. Her staff will be in this space right here. This is a student entrance. This will allow them exclusive access to the school area through the main office right here. So we've got all the protections in place to ensure that the security is the highest that we can offer in the space and is all state-of-the-art for all of our students. Right, so all of the fine arts offices are located in this space right here. We have this particular set of offices is a district level office, so this serves all of the fine arts teachers, all 325 of them across the district in all of our disciplines of dance, music, theater, and visual arts.
So we've now left the Center for the Visual and Performing Arts, and we're out in the internal courtyard between both centers. And so this courtyard, when it's complete, will be a large space where we could house, or hold, I should say, festival events, outdoor art shows, an outdoor movie night where we might project out onto this large wall and have children come and watch a movie. The whole idea behind this was to activate the space and the facilities from the moment you drive onto the property. We really wanted to show activity and an energy. And so as we make our way and look further to the east, you can see that we preserved all the natural vegetation. We didn't cut down a single tree on this property. We were able to build around the natural vegetation, so we have a nice big beautiful heritage live oak in the center, and out toward that directly to the east would be an area where we've planned for a future outdoor amphitheater. So as we continue to complete both projects, obviously the recent health events with COVID-19 have had an impact on us, but we've been able to maintain our schedule so far. But we have obviously begun to implement health practices that are a bit different. We have to monitor how many workers we have on site. We really have to plan very carefully with the areas they're going to be in, but they also still use the same safety precautions and the same PPE that we do. So in addition to the normal vest that we wear, the hard hats, safety glasses, and that sort of thing, long pants and boots, they have to make sure that when they're in the space working in close proximity to one another, that they wear face masks, and in some cases sometimes face shields, depending upon the proximity to other workers. But on the whole, while it's had an impact on us, we've been able to manage it, we've been able to stay on schedule, and we still anticipate being able to finish both projects on time, which for us means August the 15th on our Athletic Center and September the 15th Center for the Visual and Performing Arts.